Charity Dingle's secrets could soon be exposed on Emmerdale. She has been concealing the truth about baby Leyla's parentage for several months. Leyla is currently being looked after by Charity's granddaughter Sarah Sugden and her husband Jacob, who believe the child is theirs after Charity agreed to act as a surrogate. However, what they are unaware of is that Charity had a relationship with Ross Barton and became pregnant with his child. In reality, Leyla is their daughter, but this has been kept hidden. Charity's husband Mack is completely unaware of both the affair and the truth about Leyla being Charity's child, though that situation may change next week. Spoilers suggest Charity is finding it increasingly difficult to cope following recent traumatic events. She was sexually assaulted by Dr Todd in disturbing scenes after previously being blackmailed by him over several weeks. Charity initially reported the incident to the police, but later retracted her statement after being told there was insufficient evidence. After Dr Todd left the village, she has been left emotionally overwhelmed. Unable to confide in anyone, Charity claimed she was suffering from postnatal depression. Mack becomes worried there is something more serious going on when she later experiences a breakdown and goes missing. As her loved ones grow increasingly concerned, Dingle tries to encourage her to talk, but she refuses to open up. Mack feels helpless, unsure how to support his wife. He confides in Dingle, who feels guilty about the distress Mack is experiencing due to Charity's lies. Chas is aware of baby Leyla and also knows about Charity's theft and Dr Todd's blackmail, though she does not know about the assault itself. She is also aware that Mack remains unaware of Charity's situation with Ross. When Mack attempts once again to reach out to Charity, she becomes overwhelmed and pulls away from him. She drives off and ends up by a lake, ignoring Mack's calls. He then informs the family, prompting search efforts that ultimately prove unsuccessful. Fearing for her safety, Mack decides to involve the police to help locate her. While giving them all the information he has, he begins to suspect that he may not know the full truth. He later questions Chas directly, asking whether she is hiding anything from him. With tensions rising and concern for Charity growing, it remains to be seen whether Chas will finally reveal the truth about baby Leyla and the blackmail situation. Dingle's future on Emmerdale has been the subject of a lot of concern recently, especially after his dramatic health storyline. Earlier this year, during the crossover event Corriedale, Kane was rushed to hospital after being shot. While undergoing checks, doctors discovered a lump and told him it needed to be tested for cancer. While he waited for the results, Kane and Moira Dingle's lives were turned upside down as Celia Daniels and Ray Walters' control over the village came to an end. At the same time, Moira was arrested on suspicion of being involved in Celia's modern slavery operation. Despite protesting her innocence, Moira struggled to explain evidence found on her farm, and things looked increasingly serious when a second body was discovered during police investigations, leading to shocking murder accusations against her. While Moira was in prison, Kane received his cancer diagnosis, but chose to keep it secret for a time, believing she already had enough to deal with. Eventually, he went to the police station and emotionally revealed everything to her. Since then, Moira has been released after new evidence cleared her name, and life has slowly begun to stabilize again for the family. However, Kane has been dealing with the aftermath of his diagnosis and surgery, including difficult side effects and ongoing recovery challenges. More recently, doctors have raised concerns that his cancer may have spread, meaning further tests and possibly radiotherapy could be needed. If confirmed, this could bring serious long-term side effects, but there is still no official confirmation that his condition is fatal or that he will be written out of the show. At present, there has been no announcement that Jeff Hordley is leaving Emmerdale, and Dingle is not confirmed to be dying. The storyline is currently focused on uncertainty, emotional strain, and the impact of illness on Kane and Moira's relationship, rather than a planned exit. A new antagonist is set to arrive in Emmerdale next week, with Ross Barton suddenly becoming the target of a shocking abduction. The captor is eventually unmasked as a woman called Kylie, who viewers may recognize as former Fame Academy contestant Pippa Fulton. Fulton first appeared on the BBC talent series in 2002 and later featured in Coronation Street as Aurora, a friend of one of Steve McDonald's dates. She has also previously appeared in Emmerdale on 2 separate occasions in different roles in 2014 and 2017. In upcoming scenes, her new character Kylie makes a dramatic entrance by kidnapping a frightened Ross Barton while he is travelling to the airport. He is forced into a van by masked figures, and his brother Ross Barton soon receives a message informing him of the abduction. The warning states that Lewis's life is at risk unless his father hands over something known as Penny to the kidnapper. Alarmed, Ross attempts to track down Lewis's adoptive father Jeffrey, but Dr. Liam Kavanagh later reveals that Kev Townsend is actually Lewis's biological father. Kylie later confronts Ross directly, revealing herself as the kidnapper and repeating her demand for Penny to be returned without delay. Liam then persuades Claudette to disclose Kev's location, and they eventually find him selling baked goods from his van. When questioned, Kev claims that Penny is a diamond he previously sold to a pawn shop, prompting Ross to order him to retrieve it. However, viewers later discover that the diamond was never sold and is actually still in Kev's possession. After being reminded of Kylie's past imprisonment in Holloway, Kev reconsiders and tells Ross that he has recovered the diamond. Ross, however, remains suspicious and knocks Kev unconscious. He then arranges a meeting with Kylie in an attempt to exchange Kev for his brother's safe return, using him as leverage. Whether the plan succeeds remains to be seen. Emmerdale's Archie Breckle and Kerry Pollard find themselves in serious trouble next week when their AI-powered scam is exposed at the worst possible moment. The pair are attempting to continue their con against Caleb Milligan, but their plan quickly starts to unravel when they are unexpectedly caught out. In earlier scenes, Archie used artificial intelligence technology to impersonate Caleb's daughter Steph, successfully tricking Caleb into sending money after believing it was needed as a deposit for Steph's London flat. As the deception continues, the teenager begins spending the money, which raises suspicion. Kerry initially urges Archie to confess, but after a harsh reaction from Caleb, she changes her mind and chooses to become involved in the scheme herself. She later shuts up the shop so they can push ahead with another staged call, once again pretending to be Steph. During the call, Archie types responses that are converted by the AI system into Steph's voice, allowing them to continue fooling Caleb. Kerry then takes control of the conversation and attempts to manipulate him further, even pushing for an additional £5,000. However, things take a sudden turn when Eric walks in and discovers what they are doing. Shocked, he confronts them and grabs the laptop, accidentally disrupting the AI system and alerting Caleb that something is wrong. As the scam begins to fall apart, the situation becomes increasingly tense. With Caleb now suspicious, the truth is at risk of coming out very quickly, leaving Archie and Kerry scrambling for a way to cover their tracks. At the same time, questions remain over whether Eric will expose them completely, especially given his own history of questionable decisions. Emmerdale is broadcast on ITV1 on weeknights at 8 p.m, and episodes are also available to stream from 7 a.m. on ITVX and YouTube.